Once you've gained a bit of confidence working with Elementor and WordPress, you might want to think of ways to actually speed up your workflow in order to become more productive and to get things done faster. And that's why I want to introduce you to some tools that Elementor gives you that help you actually to speed up these workflows and to create your websites blazingly fast. We'll start off with the Elementor Finder. This is something that you can access by clicking on Control E, and it pops up this little window right here. You can actually pop this up anywhere on your WordPress website. So no matter if you're within the Elementor editor or like I am right now outside of it, and you can actually type in anything on your website, any page or any like setting in Elementor that you want to access, any template, and you can like actually click on it. So let's say if we added in, if you like typed in an A, just to like demonstrate that, you see we have the option to edit all of these different pages and templates. We have the option to go to these general pages, and also we can create new pages, we can go to different sites, we can access settings and tools and pretty much all of these things. So this is really helpful if you want to, for example, open up a different page in WordPress when you're working on something else. You just quickly type this in. Let's say you want to go to your home page, then you can like click Control and press it so that it opens in a new tab like this. And now you've just opened up your home page like that. So we obviously were on the home page before, but we could also say like we want to edit the Elementor 404 arrow page from here. So click on this as well, opens up in a new tab and actually jumps right into the editor for the 404 page. So really nice and handy tool to quickly navigate your site when you're using Elementor. Next up, we have the navigator, which we also briefly touched on earlier as well. You can open this up when you're in the Elementor editor by going down here and then clicking on the navigator. But you could also pop this up by clicking Control I, and then the navigator actually appears on this side. Again, you can also like drag this to the side to actually attach it like this. And now it will actually stay in place when you're like scrolling through your site and you're working on your page content. But you could also like remove this again if you don't want it to be there anymore. Right. And also like you can click on this button to expand the entire navigator and move it around however you want. All right, so now let's collapse that again and see how you'd actually use something like this. So again, this is something you can use to really quickly navigate on your page and to directly access any of the sections that you have, for example. So if I wanted to go to this section, so the second section, I could just click on this, and now the section settings automatically pop up on the side right here, which is also quite handy. And also one way we use this is to edit these hard to reach sections, like here where like the inner section and the outer section like overlap. We can use that to edit the outer section as well. Also, we can go down here to see like the site structure and edit any of the elements with ease by just clicking on them. So also in here, you have all these different columns. We could go into a column, click on the image and just work on that image by clicking right here. An additional nice feature is that you can actually hide your elements here as well. So if you click on this little eye icon right here, you see how this logo disappears. And you could use this to like test how things look if they weren't there, for example. So this is also a really nice feature that Elementor offers you. Another feature that Elementor has is the ability to create global widgets. And they are a bit different than the global styles that we've created earlier. So I'm going to show you how to use them. Pretty much how it works is you can have a certain widget and you can create a global style out of it or a global widget out of it, which means that no matter where you use it on your entire website, it will always look the same. So if you make changes to the global widget, it will change everywhere else as well. One idea of where this would be really useful, for example, could be a pricing table. So usually you'll always have the same prices, and if you want to display the prices of your products in different places on your website, then it might be a great idea to change your pricing table to a global widget. And I'll show you how to do this using the landing page that we created. So if I scroll down to the part where we actually added in the pricing table, and I click on the widget here, I can actually say save as global. And now this will save this widget as a global widget. So I'll just call this global pricing table, for example. And I'll save this. And now up here, you see we have the option to go to these global widgets. And I could like add this in, I don't know, right here. This just doesn't make any sense, but I'll just add it in to demonstrate how this works. And now you see they actually look exactly the same. But now if I was to change the global widget like this, and maybe I want to change like the price, for example. So I say, well, now it, instead of $40, it costs $70, as you see up here. And if we update that and actually like refresh the page, then you see down here that this price has also been updated. And that's true for all of the different properties of that widget. So you could change the color, you could change the title, you could change the different list items here, you could change the link, for example. So anything that you are actually trying to use on the site, you could change that easily, and it would be reflected in all of the instances where you were using that exact global widget. So that's extremely useful for a lot of cases, also for like call to actions, for example, if you want to have like a notice for your newsletter, or if you have like an important message for your followers or for your visitors that is on different parts of your website. This is why you can use this in a really nice way. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind though is that this only works for individual widgets. So you can't just choose a whole section and make that into a global widget. It only works with the individual widgets that you can use. What you can also do, if you ever wanted to use it in a different way, you could just say unlink this from the global instance. And if you unlink it like that, now you can change this however you want, and it won't affect the other instances of that global widget, and also the other way around. So this is now completely set free from the constraints of that global widget. All right, and lastly, I want to talk about some of the shortcuts in Elementor. I talked about some of them already, but I want to show you some additional ones and go through them again. So the first one would be to change the view. So changing the view from desktop to mobile, to tablet to mobile. You can use Control-Shift-M for this, and then you can like easily shift between these views however you want to. Next, we have Control-I to access the navigator, as I said earlier. Then we have Control-E to access the Finder. Also, you have the option to use Control-Shift and E to open the theme builder, actually. Also, all of the basic shortcuts that you already use daily also work in Elementor. So you could copy-paste text like this, then just paste it in here like that. If you wanted to. The same also works for individual elements. So for this image, for example, we could click on the, we could do a right click, and then using Control-D, we can duplicate it. Using Control-C, we can actually like copy it, and we can also paste in the style using Control-Shift-V like that. So all these options are there for you, and you can use these just like you use on any other platform like Word or wherever you use these shortcuts as well. And probably one of the most important shortcuts would be Control and Z in order to undo changes that you made. You're going to use that a lot in the beginning, but it's nice to know that it's there and that you can use it to quickly revert back to the previous version if you did something by mistake, or if you applied some changes that you want to be removed later. And that's it already for these productivity tips in Elementor. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope that they can help you to speed up your workflow and to work on your website in a more efficient way. Other than that, I hope I'll see you in the next part of this course.